There is a Mexican expression for the meaning of which is we are all related. Just now the Chief Minister also said, the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that is world is one family. That means we are all related. Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Pema Khanduji, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister for Arunachal Pradesh, Shri Chawam Enji, President of the International Center for Cultural Studies India Chapter, Professor Shri Balaji, representatives and leaders of the various communities and ancient cultures who are on the dais here, Secretary of the ICCS Valley School, Shri Sureshji, and all the delegates, dignitaries, sisters and brothers who have assembled here for this concluding session. My hearty greetings to you all who participated in this 8th International Conference and Gathering of Elders. At the outset, I also congratulate the ICCS, all the delegates and the local organizers for this wonderful and memorable conference. I have been attending these conferences from the beginning in 2003, and I have been fortunate to be a participant, to delegate, sometimes speaker, sometimes in the organizing committee, in each and every international conference that has taken place. And I have been the witness to this ever-growing movement. This is steadily growing, evolving, and developing, encompassing various cultures and communities, ancient cultures and traditions in many countries. And this time, as we all know, 33 countries participated. I think this is the first time that we have been able to achieve this number. It has spread its coverage, its scope and dimensions have increased, its influence and impact are there to see for us. How many of us here are ready to participate in the 2027 International Conference? Please show up your hands. So that goes for the success of this conference. Thank you. The credit for this success goes to all of you who have participated. This conference had a very great, meaningful theme, as you all know, shared sustainable prosperity. During the past 4 days, we have discussed various aspects and dimensions of this theme. I am not going to mention about the ceremonies that have taken place in the morning, which were so educative, inspiring, and not only inspiring and educative, but they were uniting us. Every one of us was feeling that there is something for me and something connected to my tradition and my culture in whatever ceremony we were witnessing and we were participating. That's why the spirit was that somebody is performing the ceremony and I am only an onlooker. That was not the spirit. It is a part of our family function, our own ceremony, and we are participating. That was the spirit that was there in all these morning ceremonies. And I think you also share my feeling. And evening performances on the dais, which has been mentioned, I need not again congratulate all the wonderful young artists who enthralled us through their performances. Friends, the theme has a prominent term, prosperity. Man has always been in search of happiness and wants to have prosperity in life. Mother Earth, Mother Nature has provided plenty for all of us. All of us can live in happiness, enjoying the prosperity. But there are certain conditions which I think we have discussed in various sessions and various presentations. The presenters also have underlined those preconditions to enjoy that prosperity, to make it sustainable, and how we can share that prosperity. This morning, in the final panel discussion, Acharya Siddhartha has beautifully described the concept of prosperity as viewed by Hindus here in Bharat, in India, in the form of a goddess Lakshmi. That is, Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth or prosperity or fortune, dhana, vibhava, bhagya. You can say anything, samriddhi. This is prosperity, the wealth, fortune. And he also mentioned about the Ashtalakshmi, the 8 kinds of prosperities. Abundance has been the emphasis of human beings. One of the earliest human knowledge, which is called Vedas, the United Nations has also declared that is as human heritage. And they have emphasized, they have underlined about the abundance. So the man seeks for this abundance, that is prosperity. And as I said, earth provides us, but it is not merely a resource, as our friend from Peru, he mentioned in the morning, that earth should not be seen only as a resource to be exploited. She is the mother to be milked. Mother gives us milk. And Mother Nature provides that nourishment. And hence, nature, the Mother Earth, Mother Nature, should not be exploited. In all our cultures who have assembled here, the ancient cultures and traditions, they have identified, they have considered Earth as the mother. So that is the beauty of it. And as it goes, the nature has enough for everyone's need, not for anybody's greed. Prosperity, as it was mentioned, the Lakshmi, the abundance, all our ancient cultures have exhorted that it should not be acquired through war or by loot or by exploiting nature. Loot, exploitation or war, these things are prohibited. For prosperity, one has to earn, gain that prosperity through hard work and toil. That is how our all ancient traditions and cultures have tilled the land. Worked hard. Not to loot from others who has earned. So that's why the ancient cultures and traditions, they have always seen that the other person should not be seen as an enemy, because he or she is also the son or the daughter of the same earth, who is also my mother. That's why looting or exploiting is prohibited. The prosperity has to be earned. There is a story in Hindu mythology about Samudra Manthan, that is the churning of ocean. The ocean was churned by the gods and demons on the advice of Lord Vishnu, who is the maintainer of this creation. That is the story. Why that churning was required? It is said that once heaven went out of stock, the heaven's godowns became empty. There was nothing to eat or drink or enjoy. Then what to do? Then Lord Vishnu, he advised that you should churn the ocean. And when you churn the ocean, you will get prosperity. And when the churning started, one after the other things came. First the poison came, which is called a sort of poison. And the story is there. I would not like to elaborate the story. The point which I want to make here is, Lakshmi was produced out of it. That is, the prosperity, the wealth, the fortune, that emerged out of the churning. And that was distributed, that was to be distributed. And Amrit, that is ambrosia. So these things have been told to us because the churning is required in order to get the wealth or ambrosia. And that churning is the hard work that we have to do. And that churning, we have done it here also for 4 days. And the Amrita, the ambrosia, was expressed through the declaration here. In all our cultures, we are also having the conch, blowing the conch, shankha in Sanskrit. In morning also we are seeing, every day in the ceremonies, we have been blowing the conch. And a wonderful way of communicating these things to us. Prosperity has to be sustainable. And it has to be equitable. And this requires non-exploitation and non-greed, restrained consumption, love and respect for nature, as we are her children. This calls for a spiritual outlook, which all our ceremonies, which we were participating in these 4 days, in all our presentations and panel discussions, most of the speakers, they were underlining this particular aspect of spirituality that is experienced, that is seen, that is highlighted, that is emphasized in all our cultures and traditions across the world. Spirituality is the common aspect of all of us. What is spirituality? We all know that is all is one. all are one. No, all is one. And everything living and non-living, every being has the divinity. All our ancient cultures and traditions, we see the divinity, the presence of divinity in every being. And we all accept and practice a life of living together. And in order to emphasize or underline this, in order to educate this, the earth provides, the Mother Earth provides to all the people, irrespective of the diversity, which just now the Chief Minister was mentioning. The Atharva Veda, one of the Vedas from this land, has declared Janam Vibrati Bahuta Vivachasam Nana Dharmanam Prithvi Yathaukasam Sahasradhara Dravinasya Meduham Driveva Dhenu Rupasparanti. The meaning is, there are many people who are practicing various faiths, religions, etc. People who are speaking multiple languages, and all of them are living on this planet, and they all have to live like they are members of one family. And if the members of one family are getting the milk by the cow which is there in the family, like that, the Mother Earth gives enough for everyone, irrespective of their language or culture or tradition or their religion. So this earth planet provides for everybody everything. So that's why it becomes the responsibility of all of us to save earth, to respect her. And spirituality is the soul of all our cultures, all our traditions. And we speak of culture. To my mind, think what is culture? Culture is the expression of the soul of a people. I repeat, culture is the expression of the soul of a people. And all our traditions, they are having spirituality as the soul of our people. And that's why the culture is the expression of the spirituality in all our doings, our practices, our faith, our outlook, our approach, our food habits, our attires, our dance, our music, our instruments, our worship, mode of worship. All these things are our cultures. And they express, they manifest the soul of our people, that is the spirituality. That's why in every activity that these traditions have developed, evolved over the centuries, they are expressing this spirituality, and that is why it's our culture. So this we are having. Now, our cultures have certain commonalities. As it has been repeatedly told, one thing is mother, nature, and earth as the mother. Spirituality, that is divinity everywhere. And all our traditions and cultures have recognized the feminine divinity. The Semitic religions did not do this. It's all our ancient traditions and cultures have recognized the feminine divinity. And all of us emphasize the family values. All these cultures and traditions which we are representative of. We respect our elders, ancestors, and we express our thanks and gratitude to them. And finally, all these ancient cultures and traditions have one thing in common, that is sustainable living. Sustainable living. So these are the common things that we have. Today, we have adopted a declaration of this conference, which underlines our role apart from the approach of this conference towards important areas, namely reviving traditions, ecological knowledge, and collaborative governance. Reviving traditions and ecological knowledge and the collaborative governance is required for this theme, that is shared sustainable prosperity. Sustainable living has two aspects. One is sustainable development, and for the sustainable development, the declaration says advocate for conscientious consumption and equitable resource distribution. So sustainable development can be ensured only through sustainable consumption. Morning it was said, learn to live with less and less. That is sustainable consumption. So learn to live with less and less. And like restrained consumption, another important aspect that we have to cultivate as part of our life is complementarity. Complementarity is also essential for the sustainability. That is where the sharing comes in. Wisdom of our ancestors guide us in this endeavor of sharing, in this effort for sustainability. So I think the conference has underlined these three areas of reviving traditions, ecological knowledge that has to be conserved and transmitted to the next generation, and collaborative governance for each community and for all the cultures and traditions across the world. Prosperity is to be shared, we say. That is a equitable resource distribution. Again, I would like to draw your attention to one line that is told here in India, Shatahasta Samahara Sahasrahasta Vikira. That is, earn by 100 hands and distribute by 1,000 hands. Means whatever you earn, 100 times more, or 10 times more you have to distribute. Means you earn something, add your value and distribute it. Not to have only with you. Don't store with yourself. That is why earn by 100 hands and distribute by 1,000 hands. So that is, we have to produce for distribution and create for sharing. So that is the message of this conference, I feel. Now, having said these things, I would like to conclude with 2-3 points which I feel all the delegates should consider them for the follow-up action of this conference. This is my request to ICCS also. That is, we ancient cultures and traditions are not museum pieces. They are not to be only documented in books and shown in the museum and take films and show to the world. that here there were some such things. No, we are living traditions. We are not to be marginalized. We have to be the mainstream. We have to be the mainstream. We have to be the part of system. We have to influence the policies. We have to influence the administrative mechanism. For what purpose? Not for any self-aggrandizement, not for any selfish purpose. We have understood, we have recognized, we have experienced this earth, of considering the whole world as one family, of considering and practicing the complementarity. This is required for the battered humanity. This is required for the tensions that have been created because of the modern lifestyle and being experienced by the humankind. And if this is the lifestyle, and that has to become the mainstream, and that's why it has to become the part of the system. It has to influence the policymakers. That's why let us not underrate ourselves as some small speck in this vast humanity and coming together, passing some resolution, and again live like that. No, we want to influence the world at large for the sake of the world and humanity. Second, in order to do that, achieve that, we have to transmit this knowledge, this spirit, these values, these traditions to the next generation. They are to be living traditions, then they are to be practiced by our next generations. That's why the efforts have to go on at the family level, at the societal level, at the administration, through education, in media. So transmitting this knowledge and cultural values of ancient traditions will have to take place effectively. And for this, again, all our communities, people who are old, middle-aged, young, capacity building is required. We have to learn more, understand things better, make researches, publish the things, networking, and express and articulate effectively. The capacity building of each community, however small it is, capacity building of each community, however powerful it is, that is required for making these cultural, traditional values the mainstream values. That's why I suggest that this conference will underline these things for our follow-up actions. Friends, this is the time, this is the new time for the world. And this is our time. And this is the time for humanity. So I once again request all of you to consider these points that I have made, and we have enjoyed these 4 days. We have been enlightened. We have enriched our experiences. We have strengthened our bonds. We have recharged ourselves. We have strengthened our relations. Many have come for 4 or 5 conferences earlier. Many are new. Those who have come earlier will come again. Those who are new will bring more people. So that is my wish. So next time when we meet, we shall have a better organized, fully capacitated, highly charged, inspired communities will gather and we will sing the song of the human happiness. Thank you.